Hey everybody, and welcome back. So today I am working on the Glacier King, as you can see here in this area of the video. He's pretty much done, but I have a couple of things I'm going to do that relate to the last video I did, which was my ice experiments. So first thing is his base is going to need some snow and ice, and so I'm going to do another experiment with that. And I'm going to do something with his icicles. And I think I'm going to do that second. So I'm going to start off with snow and ice. Now, as if you recall from that last video, and perhaps I should put a link to the last video just in case you didn't see it. Anyway, in the last video, I used the crushed glass from Secret Weapon. And the results were cool, very realistic ice, but what I want here is more snow. But I actually like the idea of maybe doing a little bit of snow that's melting, but I want a more white, snowy look in addition to the ice. So think of it like snow that's still thickly packed, that is now melting. So I'm going to start with some Liquitex Gloss Medium. And to that, I'm going to add, this is the GW Snow Flock. And I think I'm going to add this fairly liberally. But before I forget, I also want to add some crushed glass as well to maybe add some sparklies to it. And then we'll just mix that up. We'll see what that looks like. Kind of looks like that. Huh, I kind of thought this was going to be wetter. I thought I'd added too much medium, but as it looks like, this stuff just sucks up the medium, which is maybe a good thing, but it does mean that I'm going to need some more because that's a fairly dry mix. All right, I feel like I'm doing a baking show now. All right, I think I can work with this. This seems fairly sculptable. All right, so I'm just going to apply this. I think I want it fairly thick, actually. This may end up requiring several applications at this stage. And I'm not going to do the whole thing. I think I'm going to do spots of it, so it looks like this is essentially just the thickest portions of the snow that is not yet melted off completely. I don't think I've ever done snow flock twice in exactly the same way. I feel like every time I do this, I'm experimenting. And you know, I'm also kind of sculpting it. I really want it to be smooth, as if this is is either fairly pristine or just the melt has smoothed it out. All right, and that's looking pretty good. You know what I'm going to do? I am going to just sprinkle some of that crushed glass on here, so that it's going to have, oh, it's stuck, so that it'll have a little bit more sparkle. I can go ahead and, I think, spread that in. All right, I'm going to work with this some more. I'm going to do a couple of more mixes and get my spots in, and then we'll move on to the next step. Well, it's drying now. I don't know what it's going to look like when it's done, but right now I think it looks kind of awesome. I think once it cures out, it'll be more transparent and more icy, and that'll be good. I'm totally down with that. But so the next step is going to be primarily using the crushed glass. I'm mixing this kind of dirty with a little bit of the leftover flock, so that there's at least a little bit of the flock in there. Now, if you watch the other video, you'll know that if you don't mix this stuff up really thick, then it sort of ends up looking very, very melty, which is at this point kind of what I want. All right, let's go back this way a bit. And I guess I can apply with the spatula. And so the idea here is that I want to have these edges where it really looks like the snow is melting or has melted. And so you're seeing wet ice right at the edge. And I think in this area I will go ahead and sort of connect these two more snowy areas. And then maybe get a bit up here onto the grass. Not covering it, just sort of working it into the edge of the grass. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of this on my own, and then I'll come back and we're going to do something a little different. So something I didn't do on the last experiment was where the snow was churned up, I didn't make it dirty, and it really should be. If the snow is on the dirt, when it starts to melt, it gets muddy. So I'm just taking a dab of raw umber and adding it to this somewhat wet mix and just stirring it up, and look at how dirty that's become. Raw umber is a fantastic dirt color. And so I'm just going to take this and I'm going to create little clumps to go around his feet and anywhere in the back where it looks like he's sort of passed through, and really, you know, broken up the snow and created this dirty slush. Really, this should be in other places as well, but you know, like I could dirty up the edges of the other snow as well, and I think I will. All right, well, I'm going to get to that, and I'll be back in a bit. All right, I've been doing a little extra, and if you look here on the chin, you might be able to notice a little bit of sparkle. And what I've been doing is just adding a layer of clear gloss of the same medium I've been using, mixed with a little bit of the glass, the crushed glass, and that creates a really neat kind of crystal-y effect. And I just thought it might be really cool if all of these ice crystals that he's got had this kind of extra icy look to them. So I'm just spreading this around to make him icier. And the gloss also would tend to make the crystals look wet and shiny, which also adds to the realism. Now, I don't normally like to do gloss as an effect at all, because I don't generally like how it scales with things. But in this case, I think because he's so big, it's going to look good. And the of course, the ice crystals break it up, so it's not like this sheen of gloss. Also, the other thing that gloss will tend to do is highlight any imperfections that the surface might have. But unlike just straight clear gloss, these crystals would actually tend to hide any imperfections that might be in here. So that's a kind of an added benefit. All right, let's take a closer look if we can. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of this done. And I think you'll really enjoy it when I'm finished. And that's going to be it. So I'm going to do the rest of the big crystals and then these little crystals that he's got on his chest and back. And then I'm going to call it done, and I will shoot some photos once it is all cured out. So I'll be back and you'll see the final product.